Alright, what's up guys? It's Zapoc here. First off, when I want to start this video out, I want to give a big shout out to this guy right here. Ken Griffey Jr. Just got elected into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame this year. And tonight, on Saturday, his number just got retired in the Seattle Mariners organization. So, big shout out to Ken Griffey Jr. My favorite baseball player of all time. I'm a diehard baseball fan as much as I'm into video games. And just want to give a big shout out to Ken Griffey, greatest baseball player, sweetest swing of all time. As epic as my weekend was last weekend, this weekend was even better. There was a mother of all garage sales happening in Everett. So I went garage sale. It was almost door to door. Just park and walk street to street, door to door, just going through garage sales. We only had a couple hours hit garage sales before I had to get my daughter to horseback riding lessons, but we still probably hit 100, maybe more. It was insane. The things I found this week were awesome. I want you guys to put down in the comments below after I go through all these videos and let me know which one you thought the best pickup was. There's 3 major lots in here, so of these 3 major lots, let me know which one you thought was the best pickup. I'll start over here with a few single pickups, the things I got here and there, and then we'll get into the really juicy, the really good stuff here. Yesterday was at a thrift store that found this loose card, Game Shark. I believe it's for the PS1. Not 100% sure. I'm kind of doing some research. Discs in okay condition. It was only $1, so I figured I'd pick that up. The ones I found on eBay were kind of going for $10 to $15, so for $1 to throw that in the collection wasn't too bad. Picked up a couple players guides for $1 each. Dawn of Mana. It's in relatively decent condition. And Tales of the Abyss. So I have no idea about either game, if either game is good. Kind of by the players guides, they look like halfway decent games. But yeah, I'm not sure, but for $1 each, I'll pick up a player guide for that all day long. These were free, just kind of in a bin as I was walking through a garage sale. I saw them sitting there. Thought they might have had discs in or games in them, but they do have the case and they do have the manuals in them. So finding the game and making it complete won't be too bad. The games aren't very good, but you know, for free, I couldn't argue. Disney Princesses, My Fairy Tale Adventure. And Marvel Superhero Squad, The Infinity Gauntlet. So, not too bad for free. He had this one, the guy had a bunch of PlayStation 2 and Xbox games sitting out. Nothing really too special. When I picked this one up to look at it, this is State of Emergency. It felt a little bit heavier than normal. I kind of popped it open. It was complete, but it also had a memory card in it. So I asked him how much his games were. He said $1. I was like, not a problem. Bonus memory card. This was at another one. I asked the guy if he had any video games. He said he had a bunch of PlayStation 2 games. Went inside and grabbed this tall stack of games. I don't know, 15 to 20 games. Brought them all out, and I was like, sweet, you know, we're going to go through these and check them out. Every one of them, but this game, was like from Hollywood Video. It had the cover art on it, but the back of it had all the instructions, like controller functions and stuff to play the video game. So, and none of them had manuals. But there's this Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And this one was the only one that actually had the full cover art. It is disc only inside. It is missing the manual, but he was asking $1 a piece for it, so I wasn't going to pass up on that. We'll save that one. Just another random pickup. I was looking through a guy's Wii collection he had, just kind of sprawled out on the lawn. This is the only one I thought might be fun for my daughter and I to play. Chicken Shot. Or Chicken Shoot, sorry, for $2. It is complete. Discs in good condition. And then 2 other random pickups. The guy wanted $5 a piece for these. I asked if he'd do 2 for $5, I think we agreed on like 2 for $6, so it wasn't too bad. This is the one my daughter picked out she wanted. Toy Story Mania. It's complete, even has the glasses with it, the 3D glasses with it. It's kind of cool. And Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. Complete. And then I've never heard of this game, but it looked like a really cool game. Kind of an RPG, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. They had 25 on it. Ratata Stories. They had 25 on it. And I was like, oh, it's probably like 25 bucks. Went up and I asked them, and they're like, oh, this is just a fundraiser. I don't know where all the video games came from. That's 25 cents. So I was like, 25 cents? That seems pretty good. After I picked it up, I went over and I checked it on the price guide on my phone, and it goes for about 20 bucks complete. So that was a pretty good pickup for 25 cents. Not too bad. And then 2 other random pickups. Last week, if you saw my video, I picked up a bunch of blank movie CD cases and stuff. I think like 50 of them, of the thin ones. I found a couple of these clear thin ones for some of the discs I have. I kind of wanted a clear one so that I could see my GBA disc for the GameCube. Just kind of makes it look a lot better when it's sitting on the shelf. But I also wanted, they had a bunch of these thicker like DVD cases that I can use for PS2 games and stuff. Now I know it doesn't have the memory card thing at the top, but if I get I had picked up a bunch of loose games today, so this would be awesome to go with the loose games. And then one other loose game pickup I got before we get into the bundles. It was at a storage unit. And I walked up and I asked them if they had a bunch of video games or anything. She said actually in her other storage unit just down the street, she had a bunch of Atari games. I had to go pick up my daughter from horseback riding lessons, but I said, hey, if you go pick them up, I'll make you an offer on them, depending on what you got. She goes, oh yeah, sure, no problem. So I went and picked up my daughter from horseback riding, and then came back and looked at the games. It was a big box of, it had the original 2600 Atari with a bunch of games, probably 12 to 15 games or so. A lot of manuals for almost all the games that were in there. And then there were these 2 games at the bottom. Fatal Fury 2 for the Super NES. And Terminator T2 for the Super NES. She wanted $2 a piece. So that wasn't too bad. I actually was more excited about these than what I did pick up. But these aren't bad either. I wasn't sure about this one, but I know I don't have it. It's called Adventure. And then I also picked up this one, Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong actually had the manual to go with it. And then this one, she wanted to keep all the manuals that the games were actually there. This one didn't have the game there, so I asked if I could take this with the bundle. Star Strike. And she said, yeah, not a problem, so she threw that in. It was $2 game, so $8 for the entire lot. Okay, so not too bad, right? It was a good way to start out the day. Just a bunch of random stuff here and there. The first pickup I got, actually, of the day was a Craigslist pickup. The guy was advertising that he had a Nintendo 64, a Super Nintendo, and then just said video games. Didn't list any prices, and it was at a garage sale starting at $8:30. I wanted to get there early to make sure that I could actually get the games this time. Last weekend I missed out on them, so this weekend I was like, I'm going to get there like an hour and 15 minutes early, and I am going to wait at their door so that I get first pick of all these games. Doesn't always work out, but it kind of did work out. So this is what I mean. So I got there, and I asked the guy, because they were just starting to set up, and I said, hey, do you got those video games you had listed on Craigslist? And it was actually another person that was coming to help him put more stuff at his sale. Said he's running a little bit late. He's on his way. I said, okay, cool, no problem. So I basically let the kid play at their park. It was in the middle of a development, so I let the kid play at the park. The guy showed up, had all his stuff with him. After they got it set up, he kind of came over and was like, hey, you were looking for the Nintendo stuff. You want to come over and take a look? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So when I came up to take a look, it was a yellowed Super Nintendo. Just the regular black Nintendo 64, but no games. And I was kind of interested in the games that you had listed. Do you have any games? He goes, oh yeah, they're right here. And it was a bunch of Wii games that he was asking like $15 a piece for games that weren't worth $15 a piece. Apparently, there was 3 or 4 people that called him immediately when he put his Craigslist ad on there asking if they could come pick up the games. And somebody went last night and picked up all the Super Nintendo games he had. I was pretty bummed. I was like, again, a big Super Nintendo lot. Just like, it's like, they're elusive to me. I cannot find one. But he did have a few other things. The Super Nintendo, he wanted way more than I wanted to pay. It was like $50. It was yellowed, broken, had all the cords, but way more than I was going to pay. This Nintendo 64, he wanted $40 for, which is what they go for, but you know, more than I'm willing to pay. There was a few things that he did have. Bring this over here. He had the cleaning kit, or at least the cleaning cartridge for the Super Nintendo. And he also had the Super Game Boy. Both I don't have. I've actually been looking for these cleaning kits. These are excellent to have. Asked what he wanted. He wanted $5 a piece. I was like, they're not video games. Would you do $5 for both? I think we agreed on $7 for the pair. That wasn't too bad. But the other gentleman there that said he didn't have any video games and that the other guy did, after I made this deal, came up with this bag here and was like, would you be interested in these? And I kind of looked in there and my eyes went, really? He asked for $15 for the entire bag. I kind of briefly ran through all of them. Most of them are complete, minus the game, and all the boxes are in great shape. These are all Super Nintendo boxes. Most of them have the insert, manual, and all the other paperwork that go in these. And then I have a stack of just random manuals that go for Super Nintendo games. He asked $15 for the whole thing. I looked through it for 2 seconds. I was like, sure, no problem. I'm not even going to haggle with you. Sounds great. So I'll pull these out kind of one by one and show you what's in here. Super Adventureland. This one does have the insert but no manual. But the box itself is in great shape. I mean, for being as old as it is, I mean, they don't really get too much better. There's no hardly bow in these at all or anything. They've been sitting in this bag, I'm guessing, since he got them. Circus Mystery, starring Mickey and Minnie. I can tell by this one. This one is complete. Of course, minus the game. No, there's the manual. And like all these other ones, they have the loose paperwork and stuff in there that goes along with it. Throw that back in there here in a minute. The next one we got here is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This one is complete, minus the game, of course. All the paperwork. The Jungle Book. Don't know. Yep, that one is complete, minus the game. The Magical Quest, starring Mickey Mouse. This box actually in great shape. Real Monsters. This one's complete. The Mickey Magical Quest is complete as well too, minus the games. Congo's Caper. Congo's Caper is complete. Krusty's Super Funhouse. That one is complete as well. Superstar, The Empire Strikes Back. Don't believe... Nope, that one is complete too. Obviously, except for missing the game. And then the kind of the four ones that I think are the better ones of the three. Mario is Missing. Complete minus the game, of course. Donkey Kong Country. Complete. Minus the game. And Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. Minus the game, of course. And then the box. I don't believe there's anything in here. Oh, it does have all the paperwork. That's pretty sweet. I didn't know that was in there. Still in the plastic and everything. For the Super Nintendo, a Super NES controller. And this box is in great shape too. I mean, there's nothing, no bends, creases, dents, dings. I mean, this box is about as mint as it was sitting on the shelf. I couldn't imagine seeing a better one than that one. Some of these here, I'm going to be ordering those plastic protective cases that you can get on like eBay and stuff to protect like the Donkey Kong ones, the Mario is Missing, and then even the Super, this one for the controller as well. I don't have any of these games yet, but now I will be making a list and specifically looking for these games when I go out to thrift stores and all the other places I go to check out video games so that I can start getting these complete. I've been watching lots of other guys go out and get all these boxed games and everything, and I haven't had one boxed game in my entire collection that I've been doing for the last month and a half. And I was kind of tapping my foot, waiting, when am I going to actually get them? I've seen them at flea markets and stuff, but they want like, retail prices for them, and I'm not going to spend retail prices on them when I can find them like this. I kind of looked up on eBay what they sold for, and almost all of these boxes with manuals, minus the game, go for anywhere between $12 and $30, depending on which box it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boxed games with manuals and inserts, minus the games. I mean, that's just a couple $100 right here, just in the boxes. And as well as these boxes are, and we're not even done yet. If that wasn't all, there was also these in there. Just a couple loose inserts. I don't know what these go to. That one. And then a couple of these. They go basically in every game. They come with these, what are they called? Consumer information booklets. So I got 4 of those. So any game that I come across that doesn't have one, I can throw one of those in there. Here's an instruction manual for the Super Nintendo. That's not too bad to have. And then I also got, let's see, just a poster, kind of says, get in the power, Nintendo Power. I believe it's just an advertisement for Nintendo Power kind of poster. And then these loose manuals that were in there. I wish some of these had the boxes like these here, but I'm not going to complain. Super Mario World. Instruction booklet. Super James Pond. Instruction booklet. Chuck Rock. Disney's Aladdin. Mario Paint. And also the instruction booklet for the mouse that most people use for Mario Paint. So that's kind of cool. And then one more in here, Bonkers. For $15. These boxes are immaculate. And then I was so excited. I was so happy. This we were waiting at first thing in the morning, and then after this we went out to the mother of all garage sales out in Everett. And I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to find a bundle that's going to top this here today. But I have 2 contenders over here that may, so stay tuned. Let's see how these next ones stack up against bundle number 1. Okay guys, ready? Here's bundle number 2. Going through the mother of all garage sales. My daughter was a trooper. We were hitting them left and right, jumping from one to one. She was going through everything to make sure there wasn't anything she wanted. The last couple months, she's become a pro at garage sales. Not buying junk and just buying the things that, she really wants. Came up on this garage sale, and they have this mother of garage sales every year in Everett. And I was kind of worried that it might have been picked over the years. There's a lot of video game hunters in Everett. So it's kind of sketchy to see if I was actually going to find anything. And actually the bundle that I found was of one of the daughters of somebody who lived at the house. She was on her way to take this box to the Goodwill. I went through and I started listing the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and ran down my list that I normally do. And then she goes, yeah, no, we don't have any video games, nothing like that. And over the last week or two, I've kind of been pressing just a little bit more on listing, making sure I list everything. I went through Xbox, Wii, DS, and I said PlayStation, light bulb. The daughter's like, I actually have a box of PlayStation 2 stuff in my car. And now I've been really sketchy over the last few weeks. I've even passed up PlayStations with all the hookups that were only $1, just because everyone I've been picking up hasn't worked. They haven't been reading discs, and I've just been kind of pushed off from buying any PlayStation 2s. I was like, okay, well, I'm not really sure if I want to buy a PlayStation 2, but do you have any games with it? She goes, oh, of course I got games with it. I got a lot of games. I was like, okay, well, yeah, if you want to bring it up, I'll take a look at it. I'll make you an offer on what you got. So she goes to her car, and she's having trouble carrying this box. This is a giant box. It says PS2 on it. This thing is stacked. I haven't seen a bundle like this in a while. Okay, that first bundle of NES stuff was really good. But for the price that I paid for this box, it kind of rivals what I got in that other bundle. That's why I'm kind of saying. I know it's PlayStation 2, but, I'll let you guys decide. So I haven't fully gone through this whole box. I just kind of briefly looked at it, And most of them are PlayStation 2. There's a few Xbox things kicked in here. It has the PS2 Slims. Now, it's got all the connections and all the hookups. It's got 2 of them. So right off the bat, $10 for 2 PlayStation Slims, isn't too bad. I haven't checked to see if there's any... I've seen the movie, but it's kind of a bonus. Salt. It wasn't a bad movie. It was alright. I think it's Angelina Jolie's in that movie. This one has a memory card. Been actually collecting those lately. This one, Family Guy video game for the PS2. So a couple bonus discs. Like I said, it's got all the controllers and hookups, AV cables, power cables, just about a little bit of everything in there. Here's a couple more controllers. There's one, there's one. Nice. Another memory card's in there. Bonus. Let's see. I don't know what this is. It's a CD case for Tool. Well, the disc is not in there, but it's kind of a cool case. Just a bunch of random stuff. This is kind of cool. The extension cable for a PS2. Blue extension cable. A bunch more. Not too bad. Looks like we got a bunch of cheats and stuff in here that they printed out. Couple VHSs. Not too bad. Grease, right? Who doesn't love grease? VHS. It's going to the Goodwill. La Femme Nikita. VHS, another Goodwill drop off. And let's get these out here. Couple Xbox 360 games. No, this is just the disc. The Sims 3 Pets. FIFA Soccer 10. That one is complete for the 360. Call of Duty. It's got the manual, but where the hell is the disc? Couple regular PlayStation games. Now this one has 2 manuals. I'm not exactly sure why it's got 2 manuals. It's for the same game. Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation. It does have the disc. Just doesn't have any of the cover art. So I guess I get a bonus manual but no cover art. I don't know. That was thrown in there. Soul Reaver, The Legacy of Kane. That one is complete. The Sims. Looks like the original Sims. For the PS2. Disc only. Then we have a CD case and some loose ones in here. I haven't even looked at any of these. I've kind of briefly looked at this one, but I haven't looked at the other one at all. So we got Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, Scarface, and Devil May Cry Special Edition. Picks. It says PlayStation Picks. I have no idea. And the official US PlayStation magazine. Looks like it has a bunch of demos. We got Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 3, and God of War 2. The God of War Special Features Disc. 2K Sports, The Bigs 2. Let's see, Tekken 4 and MLB 1, or 2001. Looks like one's a PlayStation, one's a PlayStation 2. Gran Turismo 3 and Burnout 3 Takedown. Another copy of Gran Turismo 3 and NASCAR 99. And this one, I believe it's just a DVD. And I'm pretty sure that's just a DVD. We got 4x4 Evo for the PS2, and then Dragon Ball Z Best Fights. I believe that one's a DVD. But I like Dragon Ball Z, so I'm not going to complain either about that. Need for Speed Most Wanted, and The Fast and the Furious. Is that Tokyo Drift? No, just The Fast and the Furious. The PS2. And Ultimate Spider-Man. So that thing was loaded. Also in that case, there was a loose copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This looks like it's pretty beat up. Almost looks like they've tried maybe resurfacing it, I don't know. And then, oh, here's the other Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. The disc is in better shape, not too bad. So I got 2 copies of that. That's not bad. Now let's see what we got in this little guy here. Another copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Driver 2 for the PlayStation. Rainbow Six Lone Wolf for the PlayStation. Hitman Blood Money for the PS2. Ooh. Kind of like this one. I like playing it better on the Sega Saturn, but still. Tomb Raider for the PlayStation. I love the original Tomb Raider game. I don't know what, maybe it's just nostalgia or something, but I love this game. I can't tell you how many times I've beat it. Pro Pinball for the PlayStation. Another copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted for the PS2. Card games. I think I have 3 copies of this thing now for the PlayStation. This thing is like following me. Driver, You Are the Wheelman for the PlayStation. Black for the PS2. Bugs Life for the PlayStation. And the last couple, Spec Ops Covert Assault for the PlayStation. Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero for the PS2. And Disc 2 of Driver. Like I said, I picked up those bunch of those cases there. I also have the slim cases. I'll probably use all the slim cases on these. I want to use the fat cases on ones that actually have all the cover art and stuff, that if there's something really bad with it, that I can just change out one of the fat cases and make it look like the original disc. You know, minus the memory card slot, but it is what it is. So, I mean, not too bad. We got a lot of games here. You think we're done? Well, we're not even close to being done. I've got another stack here. That wasn't enough. Another stack here. You see what I just found underneath the rest of these games here? 3 more memory cards. That's 5 memory cards. Now the box is empty, but we'll run through all these games here. Now I've looked at most of these games, but you know, it was just real briefly at the garage sale. I actually haven't looked at them too much. We got Conflict Vietnam is complete. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories complete. Ooh, with some cheats. Well, this one doesn't have the manual, but of course we've got 2 copies in here. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Medal of Honor Vanguard complete. Battlestar Galactica complete. MX versus ATV Unleashed complete. Motocross Mania 3 complete. Driver 3 complete. Call of Duty 2, the big red one, complete. There's a GameStop one. Looks like Call of Duty 3 for the PS2. So it's disc only. No cover art or nothing, no manual. Real Fishing 3. Oh, that one's complete. Airblade. Looks like he's riding a hoverboard or something. Kind of like a Tony Hawk game or something. That one's complete. Ooh. Not too bad a one right here, is it? Doesn't even have a disc in it. Def Jam Vendetta. I had Fight for New York last week. I was excited this game. It's not in here. It's actually The Getaway for the PS2. That's kind of a bummer. ATV Off-Road Fury complete. Oh, here's the Family Guy case. Here's the manual. Another GameStop one, but the game was in the PlayStation. We got another Xbox game that was mixed in here. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003. There's the disc, and the manual is actually right there. NBA Live 2001 complete. What we got here? So we got 2, I think, 3. That's kind of a bonus. Medal of Honor Frontline for the PS2. No cover art, but it says Medal of Honor on it. Also has Medal of Honor Rising Sun and Medal of Honor European Assault all 3. That's cool. Gran Turismo 4. Man, I love these games. That one's complete. There's another Tiger Woods game. PGA Tour 2009. Disc and cover art, no manual. What do we got here? Blank. Xbox 360, The Lost Planet 2. Now, I'm not a big Xbox. I just got my first Xbox, the original one, not too long ago. So I haven't played any of the Xbox 360 games, so I don't know how this game kind of looks cool. But it's just the disc. Tenchu, Fatal Shadows. That one's complete. The Plan. That one's complete. We got Trigger Man. Complete. Of course, one of my all-time favorites. Gran Turismo 3. It's not in there. Maybe. Good thing I picked it up last weekend. No, it's not in there. That's a manual. Looks like it got a lot of water damage, but it's got 2 PS3 discs in it. Looks like disc 1 and disc 2 for Forza Motorsport 3 for the Xbox 360. But, on further inspection, the content install disc looks like it's okay, but the play disc, you can see that, is broken. So, we'll be tossing that. Oh well. Splashdown for the PS2. Just the disc and cover art. Missing the manual. We're almost done. Killzone. I love this game. It's complete. I will be keeping this one for sure. Here's the Devil May Cry. I swear I thought I turned that thing off. Keep taking the batteries out. My mother-in-law keeps putting them back in. Devil May Cry. Complete. It's a nice one. And the discs in over here, the Fast and the Furious. Does have the cover art and the manual. So I'm going to be putting the disc in there. I will be keeping this one. I'm a huge Fast and the Furious fan. Guess what I paid for all this? Now, I don't know how many games are here. I haven't even got close to counting these. This huge stack of games. You know, what was in these two? The PS1 games, the 360 games, the 2 systems, all the hookups, all those controllers I have in there. Any guess? $10. I was like, you're going to take it to the Goodwill? She goes, just make me an offer on it. I was just going to give it away all for free. I said, would you do $10? She goes, sounds good to me. $10. Now I know a lot of it's PS2 and some couple systems and stuff, and there's nothing that's like really high priced in there. But for as much stuff as it came with it, for $10, I don't know, kind of rivals that first pickup. Honestly, I like the first one a little bit better just because it's older and it's Super Nintendo, but I could not pass up this for $10. All right. Be back in a second with number 3 pickup. Alright, I know this video is getting a little long, but here's lot number 3. I think, my personal opinion, this is the best lot. This is the one that got me the most excited I've ever been video game hunting at garage sales this year. First one was awesome. Second one was just kind of odd, but awesome. This one was my first Nintendo 64 lot. After I picked this one up, I was just living on cloud 9 for the rest of the day. And kind of why I came home to rush to do this video. Normally I do it on Sundays, maybe Mondays. I rushed to do this video because of this lot. This is my favorite one of the three. Let me know which one you thought was the best of the three. And the price on this was spot on. Kind of go over just some odds and ends here first. It's got one standard gray controller, one third-party controller. The joystick on the first one, it's not too bad. I'd say about a 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. A super pad. It's kind of interesting. Third-party controller. Does have the AV cable. Does have the power cable. It's got the black console system. Just a little dusty. No expansion pack. Just a standard jumper pack. Nothing wrong with it though. Everything seems to be working on it just fine. Seems to be clean. Not too bad. So the standard black system. And then, been looking for one of these also. I got the Super NES cleaner kit. Got the Nintendo 64 cleaning kit. Complete in box. Didn't really pulled it out too much other than look at it. It's kind of hard to see. Brand new. They never used it. Awesome. I mean, even the, see, they still have the protecting tape sleeves on these. Brand new in the box. It's kind of a bonus score right there. I didn't know it was brand new. We'll run down these first before we get into the juicy stuff over here. Came with a stack of manuals. Some of these games came in the lot, some of them didn't. Nintendo 64 Rumble Pack instruction booklet. These came in every game, it looks like, these Nintendo 64 consumer information booklets. So I can throw that in with one to complete another one if it doesn't have it. Pilot Wings 64 instruction booklet. I don't believe this game is in the slot. I was very, very excited when I saw this one. Mario Party instruction booklet. That is not in the lot either. But just the booklet alone is nice to have. Yoshi Story. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Star Fox 64. Another one that was not in this bundle that I was hoping was. Country Club. The True Golf Classics. Another one that I wish was in here. Mario Party 2. But still nice to have the manual when I do find the game. And Turok. Those are all the instruction booklets that were loose. And then down to the games. I'll kind of go from kind of least greatest to the best greatest. Oh, I take that back. Pilot Wing 64 is in there. Focus. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is in there as well. Save these juicy ones for a little later. That Country Club game is in there as well. Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. Sorry, the lighting is getting a little dark in here. It's getting dark outside. The new Tetris. South Park. Speaking of Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Jr.'s Slugfest. This was a Blockbuster game, so not only all these other games, you know, other than a little dirt, all the labels are awesome. This is the only one that has stickers on it or anything. It's got the Blockbuster stickers all over the back, which I can live with. Even the Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest sticker on the top, I can live with. I can clean all that up and stuff. Do you really have to write on it as well too? It's got Sharpie on it. Some people's kids, right? Anyway. And then down to a couple other loose games. The Turok game is in there. That was a good find. I like Turok. Yoshi Story. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Super Mario 64. And then the creme de la creme in here. They are all in these Nintendo 64 cases that do have the logo of the Nintendo 64. I was looking these up because I wanted to put all my games in these cases. There was only a few going right now on eBay, but these cases, it looks like, go for about $7 a piece. There were some lots that I was finding like 2 for $13 or something, so I might have to buy a few of them at a time. But the cases themselves are kind of expensive. We got Ocarina of Time, Zelda. I've been waiting for this game. I've been wanting to play this game for a while now. Mario Kart 64. Awesome pickup. Donkey Kong 64 with the manual and all the paperwork in it. It's got the manual and all the paperwork that goes with it, so that's awesome. GoldenEye with all the paperwork as well. And let's just throw a little bit more sugar on top of this entire thing's Super Smash Bros. Very, very, very excited to get this game with all the stuff, Smash Bros. And memory card. And the only thing else I could have got if I would have got the box with it. I mean,